There are some lies in our science books. Taught it for 15 years. Even though I'm not teaching it anymore, I still like the study. There's so many neat things to learn. We're going to cover some of that tonight.
Perception is being managed. We are being steered and guided by a hidden hand.
The whole world has been duped by the media that is not real.
Smart thinking, possible time traveler, smart thinking.
That night, boom, contact memory.
And then, Alex, if you don't agree, you'll be sent to a re-education camp.
Just because I'm old doesn't mean I've lost my touch with the ladies.
A lot of people here tonight felt like they lost. You know why?
Now, experts are suggesting that we're in a golden age of shape-shifting reptilian sightings. Now, why is that?
I was, and still am, a huge conspiracy guy. I literally ran out of new tin hat topics to research.
It was most definitely not capable of melting steel.
Then I would be a crackpot if I thought that was the case.
Thought that was the case.
Welcome to the hype. Energy. Breathing exercises.
Oh, I'm reading a book about breathing at the moment.
Are you?
An entire book about breathing. Anyway.
Interesting.
Any good tips?
Page 1, in. Page 2, out. Page 3, in. Page 4, out.
Wait, did I pick up the Kama Sutra?
Welcome to the Hypothetical Institute, a podcast about conspiracies.
My name is Luke.
I'm Salty.
And I'm Ken.
Sorry, I was trying to do something then and it didn't work.
What are we talking about?
I haven't said my name yet.
I mean, you
told your horses. I'm going to cut this.
No, leave this in. This is the stuff you should be leaving in. This is like when people listen to those lads bickering away.
No, there'll be.
Do you want to start from the top or?
No, I'll just go from Salty saying I'm salty.
Okay.
And then I'll say, and I'm Cam on the ones and twos.
Is that you saying that, or that's you saying you're going to say that? Because you said then I'll say.
Oh, yeah, and I'll cut out the then I'll say bit.
Oh, you said it way too close to it.
Yeah, that was way too close to cut that.
I'll say I'm Cam on the ones and twos.
And I'm Cam. How are we? And I'm Cam. How are we? How are we, gentlemen? Gentlemen, how are we?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I am also good.
If you cut all that, people are it's just gonna cut to random laughter, so you gotta leave it in now. What are we talking about?
Talking about the snow.
I feel like we went straight into this far too quickly.
What do you mean?
No one had their giggles out for starters.
Today we are talking about the snow. Specifically, I think the recent snowstorms.
Well, yes and no. The recent snowstorms are what prompted it, but it was 1990s hit rapper Snow Informer which kicked all this off.
Yeah.
No, I actually wish I had looked up Snow, the rapper, gear, but I didn't. So,
you don't know the lyrics to that song? It's like, I picked the ball up and I put my light out, it didn't burn.
That'll make sense to people in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the Jim Carrey In Living Colour takeoff?
No.
Oh, it's pretty good. I watched them in Living Colour recently. Still very much holds up.
Right.
Not like completely holds up, but you'll get a few giggles.
When I'm trying to find stuff to laugh at, mate, I'm in for more than just a few giggles.
Oh, you'll get lols. When Homie the Clown comes out, you'll be like, what? He's a clown. He doesn't play that at all. Snow. What about it?
What? No, I'm going to ask what about it. Then you'll tell me.
Okay. Do we want to talk about how we came to this point?
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's been a spate of people. This is in the wake of the Texas snowstorm, which I think we discussed on the news show recently.
Patreon.com/Hypothetical Institute or whatever it is.
Good plug.
Masters of self-promotion.
Yeah. And how it was it was all the snowstorm was fake, or it was done to punish Texas for being too Republican. And then people were proving this by balling up snow and then holding a lighter to it, and then it doesn't burn, doesn't melt, sorry, and then it goes black around the snow and starts to smell all gross, which is proof that the snow, fake.
Fake snow.
Fake snow. Not all snow is fake in this universe. Just
the
particular
Texas stuff.
Yeah. Well, the Texas, and I've seen some other examples earlier as well. But yeah, in this instance, Texas snow is fake. It's being pumped in. I don't really know the theory. I don't think anyone really got to the theory. But I mean, it's pumped in, I'm assuming, by the Chicoms.
Yeah, probably.
And that did come into why Texas was being bombarded with snowstorms.
Right.
Well, if it's to punish them for being Republican, then it'd be Biden doing it.
Yeah, but who is Biden in league with?
Exactly.
Idiot. Sorry, Caleb.
All right.
Idiot.
It kind of seemed like you did, but anyway.
All right. So yeah, well, did we watch a lot of videos of people trying to burn snow?
I watched a lot of TikTok videos.
You watch a lot of TikTok?
Yeah. Of people going out and doing it, grabbing the snow and doing it.
And
why doesn't the snow melt?
Well, see, okay, so here's the thing, right? I've never seen snow in my life, right?
Yep.
Never been to the snow, never seen it. The closest I've been was in Scotland, and it was on top of like a mountain fucking miles away. So I've never been in snow. And it seems like a lot of people in the comments of a lot of these videos seem to think that most people in Texas have also never really seen snow.
Mm.
Because that's just kind of what snow does.
Yes. Well, I mean, it doesn't do that unless you ball it up and hold a lighter to it.
Yeah. But people seem to think, oh, it's snow, which means it's frozen water. So if I put a lighter against it, it should just melt.
Yep.
But apparently the way that it's made and the fucking molecular construct of it is like when you ball it up into a tight little ball, the atoms or whatever bind themselves so tight to each other that that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's just a scientific thing that happens. When the flame hits it, it converts it to a gas or something, and the liquid that is being released is absorbed back into the rest of the ice.
Yep.
And then the lighter fuel leaves black residue on like, take a lighter. Here's a little fucking experiment for everyone out there. Go grab your Bic lighter.
Wait a second. Are you going to tell people start burning things?
Just hold it to anything you own and watch it create a black spot on it.
So the people that are saying this say it acts like plastic.
If children are listening, don't listen to Uncle Salty.
Do it under parental supervision.
Do you guys know the name of the process for this?
No.
Sublimation.
Sublimation. All right, well, we've explained it.
Yep, done. News.
That's a little teaser for people that don't listen to the news show on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Hypothepod. Maybe.
Potentially. Politically.
So, yeah, lots of videos of people trying to ball up snow, or balling up snow and melting it, and trying to melt it.
I did notice when I went looking for why this happens and what is sublimation or whatnot, like the very first Google result is about, you might have seen these viral videos of people saying, oh, the snow is not melting when I try and set it on fire. But the article's from like 7 years ago.
Yes.
Right? So we've already done this.
So, yeah, this all stems from 2014, Atlanta, Georgia, where, and again, it's a place that doesn't see a lot of snow. Atlanta's famously humid. Also famous for being the home of Coca-Cola. And people, that's where it kicked off, and people were like, wow, why is it snowing in Atlanta, the home of Coca-Cola? And then, so for some reason, people started burning it with lighters. And Atlanta seems like a wonderful city. It's also a pretty chaotic city from what I understand.
Right.
So I guess that kind of makes sense
Yeah. Here's something new. Here's something new that we don't understand. Set it on fire immediately.
Burn it. They have a chaotic energy.
Yeah,
And we love them for it.
Well, I mean,
Atlanta, Georgia, we love you for it. Where is it? Atlanta, right?
Yeah, home of Coca-Cola, home of Outkast, the number one hip-hop group of all time. Home of much of great culture.
Right.
And chaos, as Cam's right. It's a chaotic place.
Yeah, they're very much on the left-hand path.
So I watched one guy who was just outside of Atlanta, I think, at this time, and he was the first video he did, which I didn't watch, but he referred to. He got an ice cube and he got some snow, and then held them above his fireplace inside, like a little potbelly stove kind of thing, and noted that the ice cube melted a lot quicker than the snow. And apparently in that video, a lot of people commented and said, it's ridiculous. A ball of snow and an ice cube are completely different. So then he went, and this is the video I saw, he scraped the inside of his freezer to get essentially a snowball, and then he went and got a snowball, carried them inside. On the way in, he walks past his deck, and he's like, oh, look, all the snow's melting on this. Because it was like bathed in sunshine.
Right.
Yep.
I don't know what he was trying to prove by that.
What is the sun made out of?
Yeah.
So he was saying
the sun is basically just a huge big lighter.
Yeah. He was saying that proves his point, because that snow the snow that was there was real snow, but the snow that was like 20 meters away in his yard, fake snow. And so then he holds them and he's like, see, and people are going to say that this is gonna, this is a fake thing, but I proved it. People said it was fake with the ice cube, or like it was, different properties. But you can see that I've proved it by holding it here. Then he fed the ball of ice to his dog. He was really keen to feed it to his dog. It took a good 30 seconds of the video. I just thought that was an interesting addition. But people from Chicago in the comments of these videos were commenting that, like, this guy was like, oh, I'm from Chicago and I tried it and the snow melted, which proves that the one in Atlanta is fake. And this was a common theme in a lot of the comments of people saying, oh, I tried this snow and I'm from this other place. And I remember when I was a kid and we used to do it all the time or something, which is like,
I don't know. Something kids love doing, going out bowling up snow and just putting a lighter to it.
Specifically doing this one thing, balling it up nice and tight, and then putting a lighter to it. And, it didn't act like this. I mean, there's kind of the fundamental thing of snow is not the same when it's just landed, when it's been on the ground, how cold it is.
Yeah,
there are many versions of snow.
Yeah, there's thousands of words for it, some people have.
This guy, I just want to note... I just want to note two other videos from this guy. One was COVID or chemtrails.
Right.
And another one was a non-vegan Thanksgiving. That was a short one where he just showed a lot of meat that he was going to eat for Thanksgiving.
Right.
What happened in COVID or chemtrails? Is he suggesting they're spreading COVID via chemtrails?
I did not watch that because I had a lot of other snow videos to watch.
Via the fake snow. The fake snow is COVID.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could have maybe worked it out.
I also noticed in a lot of the videos, there's obviously, like you said, different types of snow or different states of being that snow can be in. And it seemed that a lot of people were going out and going and picking up like huge handfuls of what was essentially just ice.
Yeah.
And other people were getting really powdery snow that looked like it had just fallen. And when you crunch them, when you squish them both up in your hands, they end up being very different consistencies.
Yeah.
So the powdery snow really actually, when they compressed it looked like plastic. Like it looked like a big lump of white plastic.
Yeah.
The icy stuff just looked like a big handful of a fucking slush puppy that they just grabbed out of a cup and made into a ball. And then one of them, they obviously then also both react differently to fire because they're both got different...
levels of sublimation.
Yeah, and there's their full-on structure of how the ice crystals are fitting together is different.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess people that haven't been in snow gets like you can see it when it's snowing. It's quite there's very different states. The slushy stuff is basically weird, slushy, awful ice, and fresh stuff is not.
Right.
Acts completely differently. Do you guys want to hear a comment from Wormnuts?
Oh yeah.
Yes, please.
I don't know when this was or where I got it from. It must have been from, I think it might have been a YouTube comment. This guy says, Wormnuts says, I'm assuming a guy, think about those cans of fake snow you buy for crafts. Add other chemicals and you could make it cold. Perfect fake snow. Does anybody else see something strange about this unexpected, insanely weather pattern? It feels 70 outside, but the snow isn't melting. There's a lot to unpack in Wormnuts' comment.
Yeah.
I like that he's thinking that the government or whoever's doing this is buying bulk cans of fake snow.
Yeah.
And then adding other chemicals to it to make it feel cold, which is just way too much work for really not much result.
Yeah. I guess I'd take it a step back. I like that these people see this sort of cool phenomenon of what happens when you like try and burn snow, and they don't go, oh, that's an interesting science fact. they jump straight to why is there fake snow?
Yeah.
It's they do the first step of the science experiment. Wow, okay. You know, this weird thing is happening. What do we do? And they're like, I don't know, what? Magic, conspiracy.
Blame the government.
Yeah.
Government snow.
Which is, you know, it comes back to something we say frequently is people that get into this stuff, they just miss some really key steps into actually working out what it is.
Yeah.
So I did see somebody on one of the conspiracy forums suggesting that it wasn't that the snow has changed, it's just that the simulation that we're in, the setting for snow has changed.
Ah.
And the people that run the simulation don't care that we're noticing because they're like, they'll just blame it on their government.
Right.
And so I don't know why the simulation people have changed snow. If it's just a bug that they've introduced, you know how things are with computer bugs. You know, you change one thing and some other thing changes somewhere else.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, we can't fix the snow up without, you know, resetting the patch we put in for walking 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Everyone will just be rolling around again. So we have to leave it as it is, but it's fine. They'll just blame the Illuminati.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense now.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear another comment?
Wormnuts?
Nah, this is Wormnuts. Wormnuts was just a flash in the pan. This is from Joan W. Johnston. This is about the recent one. Texans are patriots and they have guns. Time to make their life hell. I may be wrong being a Canadian, but that's my take. Which I feel like he should have used quotation marks and explained that he wasn't saying that someone else, or she wasn't saying that someone else was, because she finishes, government is doing a crazy experiment on you folks. I feel sickened to see this. And then Jose Rodriguez says, this requires answers from officials very soon. Have you guys said anything to city councils or authorities?
Right.
Hey guys, it's snowing outside. Yeah, we got it. We saw it.
So the quote unquote snowstorm caused a lot of chaos with like power grids and stuff in Texas, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's a whole nother factor of this, right? A whole nother sort of angle of the whole thing is it's got to do with power grids and Texas and the fact that like Texas is the only state with its own independent grid that's not like somehow beholden or linked to the rest of the country.
That part is an actual conspiracy of awful rich people,
right?
Punishing the poor because the awful rich people own the stuff and don't want to pay extra to maintain it.
Yeah, so they just turn the power grids off, right? Because they're like, it's costing us heaps more.
Yeah.
I also read a thing saying that because Texas is on this independent grid, it's proof that they're going to secede. That's the word, right?
Yep.
They're going to secede from the US soon. Like in the next few years, they're going to go, nah, Texas is its own thing. We're our own thing. So this is the government going, well, how about we just cripple you?
Yeah, okay.
How about we just cripple you with this massive snowstorm that's going to shut everything down, and then we'll see how fucking independent you think you are.
My understanding of the American economy is if Texas seceded, wouldn't really affect anything else in America. And that's probably painting it too black and white. I'm sure, as we're seeing with Brexit, it comes with problems.
Yeah.
But the problems wouldn't be with the rest of America. The problems would be with the people in Texas.
Yeah.
I think, it could be an issue just in terms of how much big stuff they have. Like suddenly the average size of stuff in America generally would go down.
It's true. The average size of steaks and hamburgers, something that Americans love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would immediately be lower.
And so, like, it's all well and good to say, Texas doesn't contribute that much. But then, like, Belgium's going to come in and be like, our French fries are bigger than yours. And they're doing it in that accent to mock them. And they won't be able to, they'll have no comeback. They can't say, well, actually, on average, our French fries are much bigger than yours because they're not anymore.
They call them frites in Belgium. They don't call them French fries because they're really close to France.
Is it not frites?
They call them French pommes frites.
Yeah. I in Bruges, the movie is a movie, but it's not the movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big tower, which I think is in the movie, but there's two trucks at the bottom that serve French fries. Oh no, now I'm saying it. They serve pommes frites.
Right.
And there's always kind of arguments of which one's better. You know, I'm a left-hand guy and I'm a right-hand guy. We had both.
I'm a Mac and I'm a PC.
Yeah, we had both, and they were pretty much the same, to be honest. And apparently not. The leases on those trucks are very short because it's like the prime spot. So you just can't. If one person owned it, the leases, it would be, you know, they'd have the monopoly on pommes frites in the town. So it keeps a short lease, so no one gets that Fritz monopoly. There's also a pommes frites museum in Bruges.
Right.
It was pretty cool. We went and had a look. I put a little pin in the board in Westport to say that someone from Westport had been here.
Every time you say Fritz, I think it's like sandwich meat.
Yeah, or German.
I had some pommes frites in Belgium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was at a particularly fast-paced pommes friterie.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I feel like the guy felt that I was going too slow. He was a little short.
Fritz Nazi.
But I'm trying to be like, pay. He's like, you dumb foreigner. Like, what are you doing? And he gave me my Fritz for free. He was going too fast. I'm like, no, you forgot to take my money.
Jesus.
He's like, no, we've moved on with the transaction. Don't you understand? Once I've given you the pommes frites, you go.
The real question is, did you have curry mayo on the pommes frites?
I think I just had normal mayo on those pommes frites.
Oh, it's crazy. You got to get the curry stuff.
See, I've never had the curry stuff. I want to order it. There's a shop called something like It's Dutch to Me that sells a lot of Dutch food. I think you can buy curry frites sauce from there.
You can get curry ketchup a few places,
right.
Or I make curry mayo at home.
Yeah, right.
And I buy the mayo,
but the organic curry mayo,
bit of curry powder, bit of lemon juice, all the salt and pepper. Oh, it's a party.
So you just normal mayo with curry powder in it.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
a little bit of lemon juice to give a little bit of tang, you know.
Yeah. Hey, just on a little shoey. Speaking of big things in Texas.
Yeah, we really need to keep this one on track, but yeah, I'll let you.
Actually, I'm taking it back to Texas. I'm taking the shoe off.
Okay.
I know, Robbo,
You do have to take a shoe off to do a shoey.
Yeah. I know you're like a massive fan of like eating challenges, Robbo, at restaurants.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's like your favorite thing in the world, right?
I'm also a fan of shoeys. I love to drink a tiny amount of beer in a disgusting way.
In Amarillo, Texas, there's a restaurant called the Big Texan that has a 72-ounce steak challenge. 72-ounce steak, shrimp cocktail, baked potato salad, roll, butter, and the steak. You got to eat it in an hour. And if you don't eat it all, you lose.
You lose. You're just losing by trying.
How much is 72 ounces in kilograms?
It's just
2
over
kilos.
Yeah, 2
Holy
kilos.
moly.
So the one in Keilor Park that I'm obsessed with, people that follow my Twitter would know all about this.
Palmer one?
Yeah, they do. And I watched There's a Australian food eating champion, Hulk Smash Food, who just dominated it in less than 15 minutes. And that one was, it was quite upsetting to watch. It was just a lot of food. I can't find it. This is terrible podcasting.
Well, look, to be fair, you didn't know I was going to come at you with a fucking 72-ounce steak challenge, did you?
I would have been ready. I would have been so ready to talk food stuff.
I did. The other day I fell down a little YouTube rabbit hole of food challenge guys.
Yeah. Right.
But specifically food challenge guys talking about the restaurants they've black banned.
Okay.
Because they've changed the challenge on them or whatever.
Ah.
They say, it's going to be a 48-ounce one, and then they bring out the 72-ouncer.
So, Hulk Smash Food, the Australian champion eater, 2 kilos worth of Parma, chips, coleslaw, just on 15 minutes.
Wow.
He's probably my build. He's not a big guy. It's not pleasant to watch.
See, I'm a big guy. I enjoy a big portion of food. But I wouldn't want to have to fucking inhale it in 15 minutes.
Yeah, there's no enjoyment of that, right?
No.
And afterwards he's sweating and he's not his next 24 hours are going to be pretty upsetting.
Yeah. This 72-ounce steak challenge, an hour is a pretty long time to sit and graze over a meal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, this guy ate the same amount of Parma in 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yeah.
Plus, he didn't have all the sides, no baked potato, but there was chips and coleslaw.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, one other thing, the Big Texan, when you go there and do it, they have a camera so you can watch people doing it live on the internet.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
You should have a watch party.
I know what I'm doing after this. Can I just go back to my Matrix guy for a second?
Absolutely. Get this on track.
I didn't realize that my guy that said the fake snow was part of the Matrix program actually laid out his entire worldview in the comments, where someone said, just hang on a second, what the fuck are you talking about? And he explained it all.
Okay,
he said, all right, someone said, so do you think we're in a computer simulation controlled by AI? He says, yes, it is a simulation, but it's not like a video game. But it is like a video game. It's not run on a computer, but there is a computer system and an AI that manages it, or at least it tries to.
All right.
Basically, it's a dense programmed consensus dream world. The only difference between the physical world and a dream world you go to when you fall asleep is that dream world is a lot less dense. The physical world isn't even physical. There is an energy field that creates the illusion that it's physical, but it isn't. It's just dense energy shaped into different forms by force fields. I can sense this with my psychic abilities. Basically, it's just like a holodeck, except it's not created by technology. It's created by the subconscious minds of the population. The Matrix uses programmed energy fields to try to suppress psychic abilities and to make it difficult for us to interact with people in the astral. That is why ghosts don't show themselves often. They have to override the programming, and that can take a lot of energy. So they usually only show themselves for a few seconds. The physical world is pretty much a psychic cage, and we're all just rats in it. Despite our rage. He doesn't say that bit. There you go. Despite what mainstream science tells you, atoms don't exist. Although if someone tries to observe one, the AI will probably render one for them. Aside from that, atoms don't exist.
I would love to know, to punch into the system, the system already knows, this program already knows, what actually happened in Dyatlov Pass.
Yeah.
We've had the frozen version of that, which I think we spoke about on a recent news show, but yeah, that's what I got on that.
So there you go. That's the Matrix we're in. That makes a lot of sense. Everything is like a different thing, but it's not.
Yeah.
I liked how many times he managed to pull that off.
Yep. So Alex Jones apparently weighed on this in 2014 as well.
Of course.
But the problem with Alex Jones is the content he puts out is plentiful, many hours a day. So I couldn't find it. I did find he did some recent gear, though, in order to try and capture a bit of that lightning in the bottle he got from the Frogs Are Gay. by saying he did a bit. I didn't watch it. I didn't want to give him the satisfaction, but the title was that they were putting chemicals in the sky to make the snow gay.
Alex Jones, come on, mate.
Yeah, that's not where the funniness lies in Alex Jones.
You had a hit.
Yeah. Apparently in 2014, he did send some snow away for chemical analysis. In one article I read, but they didn't follow up. The other thing that I found, there's this website called Geoengineering Watch, which a lot of people link to, which tries to paint itself like a proper science blog. And it links to proof. So we've proven that the snow has a different chemical makeup and it's full of aluminium and barium and strontium, just like the chemtrails. And the website it linked to was Absolute Proof, was called 4 Winds 10, and the tagline is delivering the truth to the 4 winds of the earth Shan. And the article that he linked to was aluminium contamination. City officials of Mount Shasta, CA won't take responsibility for their duties to protect citizens and worldwide guests to worldwide destination. There was no evidence in that. It was just a bizarre story. And using the term worldwide guests to worldwide destination in a headline, it's just bad. That's clumsy writing. 4 winds of Earth Shan. So there was no proof in there.
That's them told.
Yeah. That's about all I have. There was other stuff. It was just people melting snow and going, oh. No, actually, there's one guy in New York that balled it up and melted it. And then after 3 minutes, he's like, see, it's not doing anything. It's just going black. But by that point, it had visibly decreased in size. It was so much smaller than when he started. It's see? Wow. Something's still happening.
I did see one thread where someone says, the snow this month looks different than normal, in my opinion. I thought snow came in snowflakes, but this month the snow almost looked like super thin grains of rice. Anyone else notice this? This is in a conspiracy forum, right? Some of the responses are well, snow comes in different forms. And you've probably just got a bit of hail mixed in with some fluffy snow.
You mentioned Above Top Secret before, Cam.
Oh yeah, I looked for snow on Above Top Secret, and there was a thread about it. Kids don't play in the snow anymore, and they were trying to go with what have they changed about the snow? But it's kids don't play in the snow anymore because, well, firstly they do. It's just you're not a kid anymore, so you're not as aware of it. But also, video game technology has improved significantly in the past 30 years.
Yeah.
Playing whatever the hot new game that the kids are playing is, Cyberpunk or Fallout 76 or whatever, is a lot different to playing Pong on your Atari 2600.
Modern video games have really, really honed in on the endorphin rush that you just can't get from snow.
No. Why would I want to be cold and wet?
That's the thing about snow. It's cold and wet. That's its defining features, especially when it melts. Whereas video games, generally not.
Yeah, and the other good thing about video games is they can prepare you mentally for the idea that you're living in a simulation, and then you can break free from it. And that's the lesson of this episode. Everyone, break free from your mental chains. Kill the cop inside your head.
Another thread on Above Top Secret was moved into the hoax forum, which was quite a feat for Above Top Secret. People weren't happy with that. People were like, no, we need to question that. But even the people above Top Secret are pretty confident that this is a hoax. I got a couple of other snow things.
Yes, please.
It's not really conspiracies. More conspiracies than the 10 minutes of Pom's Fritz talk, though. In Chiang Mai, in Thailand, I can't remember when it was a couple of years ago, They brought in 40 tons of salt for a snow festival, but it caused massive problems because it just gunked up all the streets with salt.
Doesn't salt affect the snow?
Well, there's no snow. It's in the part of Thailand where there's no snow.
Oh, so they just put salt down to be the snow?
Yeah. They brought it in to mimic the snow. A local green tea and restaurant tycoon organised it and then refused to take responsibility.
What a legend.
Junked up all the gutters and everything.
Oh, yeah, that'd be problematic.
40 tons, that's a lot of salt.
That is a lot of salt.
Yeah. Ugh, don't throw a snowball at me. Ugh. But there's also, one comes up as people think are fake. Quite frequently, it's these ice boulders that happen in Russia and Lake Michigan, where certain conditions cause basically probably a bit smaller than a basketball, shot put size, we'll say, which is a lot smaller than a basketball to be fair. Shot put size boulders to made out of ice to kind of form across the lake and roll up on the shore. They look really cool. It's a process called hydrokinesis. And that's pretty cool, but a lot of people are convinced that was fake as well, just because it looked, unusual. One comment in the YouTube, though, this guy landed a great pun. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, land on me.
Goodness gracious, great balls of ice.
Nailed it, Bill Shorten.
Bill Shorten?
He was famous for his zingers, mate.
In case you weren't aware, that was a joke. They put 2 question marks and LOL afterwards.
All right. Well, that's snow, folks. That's the fake snow.
Hey, there was a cartoon. I had this discussion with a friend of mine. It was like a Looney Tunes cartoon. And I remember when it aired, like after school one time. And the title of it was Snow Job. And we were trying to work out if there was another pun that it could have been playing off, or the only possible pun is blowjob. Think about it.
Well, snow job is a term, though, isn't it?
Is it?
It's an actual term, yeah.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Like, I can't think of what it is, though.
Means when you deceive somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. All right.
An intensive effort at persuasion or deception.
Just us teens had dirty minds. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Cut all this, Cam.
And what has changed?
Yeah.
Well, folks, that is it. You can find us on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. You can find us on Patreon. I don't know if we've mentioned it. Patreon.com/Hypothepod. And thank you to Tammy and Vanessa, our cooked sponsors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Salty, where can they get you, mate?
At Saltmarsh on Instagram and Twitter, and andrewsaltmarsh.com for links to all sorts of other stuff.
Robbo, yourself?
At alofatime.com.
And you can get me at Sexenheimer on Twitter. Gather Around Me is my other podcast. Yeah, Nah, Pass Around is my radio show about the far right. We've got an interesting one coming up, which is all about occult Nazis. So a little bit of crossover there. Check it out.
Cool.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Don't worry about a thing, except if all our world leaders are alien reptilians. I said don't worry about a thing, except maybe the fluoride in our water supply contains mind-altering drugs. Don't worry about a thing, except whether or not Port Arthur was a false flag operation in which to disarm Australia. I said don't worry about a thing. I accept you can definitely hear John Lennon say I buried Paul at the end of Strawberry Fields Forever. Ooh, don't worry about a thing, except not only did Bush do 9/11, but he also keeps the planes out in Area 51, which, let's not forget where all of the aliens are. Don't worry about a thing, except Donald Trump is clearly a woman and you're just blind if you can't see that. Why don't you open your eyes?
And I'm Cam on the ones and twos.